And now through the resurrection of Jesus from the dead, we can start to see that heaven is breaking through right now. Not permanently yet. Not fully, of course, but truly. In fits and starts, but it's real. We live in a resurrection reality that is more substantial than the fallen and fading circumstances of this world. Because of what Jesus has done and who he is, because he defeated the grave, healing is more real than sickness. Because one day sickness is never going to be ever again. Forgiveness is more real than shame. Restoration is more real than devastation. Resurrection is more real than death. There may be a day 10,000 years from this one when we can't even remember what death is. You might have to try to get that word back in your head and then it'll escape your vocabulary because it's such a distant memory. There's a better reality that we get to live in on a daily basis right now. When Jesus broke out of the grave, heaven broke into this world. When Jesus died on the cross in our place, he removed the final barrier that kept God's love from overwhelming this fallen world. That's why the curtain in the temple was torn in two from top to bottom, because what separated God from people is dealt with. Jesus took care of it. It is finished. In and through Jesus, every promise God ever made has been fulfilled. All the consequences of sin have been fully dealt with. They were crucified with Christ. Every way you have been sinned against, Jesus has taken care of that too. He carried it with him to his grave and left it buried there so you wouldn't have to be buried by that shame anymore. So we don't bow down to a spirit of greed or scarcity. We bow down to Jesus. We don't give our hearts to indulgence or suffering. We give our hearts to Jesus. We don't seek prosperity or poverty. We seek Jesus. And whatever he gives, however he leads, we follow him. Because in him we have enough. You see, every issue the church had and has, the resurrected Jesus was and is the answer. Spirit-filled and empowered people stepping out in faith to love each other demonstrated to the world that there was a God at work among them that was greater than the spirits of the age. It says that there was no needy person among the church. It doesn't say everyone was wealthy. And it doesn't say that there is no poverty in Rome. But the church in this moment was so emboldened by the resurrection, the reality that heaven is breaking in, that they enjoyed being blessed by God. And they enjoyed being used by God to bless others. It's unbelievable. This is seriously the reality that we get to live in. So, church, we don't have to settle for the lies and the deceptions of the spirit of scarcity in any way. Not relationally, not materially, not socially, not spiritually. We can embrace the reality of the resurrection. We get to live like adopted children of a good Father who is eager to share every good thing with us and wants to empower us to experience his joy as we share those good things with others. When we enjoy living in this resurrection reality, we won't have to try really hard to find someone to tell about Jesus. People will want to know. People are going to want to know what in the world is going on. How is this possible? And not because we have so much stuff, but because we have so much joy and peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control. The fruit of the Spirit will overflow from within us. Living water will overflow from within us as we drink at the well that Jesus offers through his Spirit. And it will refresh this world around us. And this is not something we can strive for. the early church did not strive for this. It was something God did. So this isn't something that we can shame ourselves into stepping into or something, work really hard at. This is something that we can only, this is a reality that we can only surrender to.